Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mick Alfany. Now listen up here. No matter what comes in the next few months, next year, be strong, keep your head up. You can survive anything. We will survive anything. This is not about crypto. This is about life. I'm talking about life, okay? There's no telling what the world is going to be in for. We can make it. Wake up every morning knowing that. Now, let's get to this first article here. It's on U.Today and it's titled, Ripple Advisor Predicts Countries May Use Public Blockchains. Now, understand, when they say something like this, it's not a prediction. They're going by the data that they're receiving from their interactions with big-time clients. So what this tells me, and I could be completely wrong, but what this tells me is there's a lot of big-time clients, a lot of large institutions that are asking about public blockchains or possibly testing public blockchains. They don't make mistakes in this field. It's all about information. It's all about data. But I understand when they want to put an idea out there, when they want to let the people sort of know some information, they have to phrase it this way, like a Ripple Advisor predicts. I say that they're going by solid data, but let's read this little tidbit here and see what they're talking about. It says, quote, obviously the XRP ledger is public and it is totally decentralized. Welfare says that CBDC solution that Ripple uses is taken from the private version of the XRP ledger. Hence, switching to the public ledger would be relatively easy. Welfare has also noted that it was very important to educate central banks and institutions about the benefits of the technology. It's something, quote, it's something that we find very important at Ripple. We have education programs for central banks. Remember I told people that there's an education curve? I was talking about that for about a year. Now you see they're telling you themselves. This is going to take time. A lot of them are not educated on the technologies, but the more that they're learning, the more they're loving it. The more deals and partnerships we're able to land, the bigger the money grows. The more there is a certainty that they're going to use that particular product, XRP. I am of the belief that most of the banks and large financial institutions around the world will utilize XRP to some capacity because not only because it's one of the best, if not the best, but because they have the patent for on-demand liquidity. Nothing is replacing that. Patents are there for a reason, all right? They did that for a reason. They cornered that. No one's going to take that from them. They can't. So if you want on-demand liquidity, you want a liquidity cushion, a certain liquidity cushion, then you're going to have to use XRP. That's the brilliance behind on-demand liquidity and the XRPL, right? And what they've been doing. It says the first CBDC deployment that could produce tangible benefits is, quote, definitely coming up. So he's letting people know we're close. Let me read that again. He's telling everybody they're close. This is about XRP. He's telling people it's close. The first CBDC deployment that could produce tangible benefits is, quote, definitely coming up. According to Welfare, he sees smaller nations launching such projects in one, here we go, a timeline again. Put this timeline on your calendars or put it in a notepad. He says he sees smaller nations launching projects in 1 to 2 years. So they've moved up the timeline a little bit, at least for smaller nations. Make sure you take that note. Smaller nations, 1 to 2 years. All right. This is very, very good. And that's pretty fast, actually. If they could pull that off, it would be great. I still was at the minimum. I still would say 3 years, to be honest. But if he's saying 1 to 2 years, he must know something that we don't. So this is definitely relevant. And I'm definitely taking that into consideration because we want that money as fast as possible, for sure. But we also want to make sure things go off without a hitch so nothing can get in the way of the flow of that money, right? So then it says at the same time, it would take the US, Japan, the UK, and other major economies more than 5 years to arrive there. Okay, so there we go. Oops, I almost broke my lamp. So there we go, back to that same timeline for bigger nations that the Bank of International Settlements has set, which was 3 to 5 years. Remember, we've been talking about that a lot. So now you have him saying it, that the major economies will be 5 years. So not 3 to 5, he's saying solid 5. All right, so there you go. So now you have a timeline for the smaller nations. some of the floods, and then you have the timeline for the bigger nations, the tsunami. There you have it. This is huge. This is a much bigger article than I thought. Welfare claims that today's financial system is inefficient and unequal. It definitely is. And CBDCs will help to solve these issues. So, Anthony Welfare is the senior advisor at Ripple. So when he speaks, you have to listen, take everything that he says very seriously. He's trying to let the people know what's going on. You got a small window here. Let me tell you something. 2 years to 5 years is not a long time at all. Don't get me wrong. There will be some ups and downs, but that's just life. Hey, you can do what you want to do. All right. But 2 to 5 years is not a long time for what they're trying to pull off with these banks. Go read the white papers and some of the blog posts on XRP, on Ripple about XRP and the necessity to hold XRP. It can't be a low price. That price is going to skyrocket. It's my humble opinion. I'm just sharing a little bit of my enthusiasm. I'm not asking you to feel the same. But let's go on to this next article here. This is on U.Today as well. They've been doing a great job. Make sure you check them out. Cross Chain XRPL tokens introduced by OneChain. According to the announcement shared by OneChain developers on Medium, the first batch of Cross Chain XRPL tokens goes live. This means that these tokens can be seamlessly transferred from XRPL to other L1s. The XRPL is interoperable, introducing the latest WAN bridge upgrade, #crosschain, #XRPL tokens. Beginning today, XRPL tokens join the $XRP as assets supported by OneChain's industry best cross-chain bridges. This is a very, very good thing. But if you've been around for a while on the channel, I'm not pro bridge at all. I like to use a bridgeless system like Quant. However, some bridges may be more secure than others. I'm quite certain of that. But this is definitely a very, very good thing. So now let's move on to another article here. So I wanted to bring this to everybody's attention. This is on Ripple.com. Now, today they made a tweet about their agenda for Ripple Swell. I believe this is for Ripple Swell. They just released their agenda. Now, this time block is going to be very important when it comes to getting information, getting it first. That can make a lot of difference, trust me on this, when certain information gets out. But this time block in particular is very important. So on their agenda on day one from 12:10 to 12:25, they have CBDC Innovate Global Hackathon information, right? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Then they have here, this is the information we want. So whether people watch it live or we get it later in a PDF or a transcript, or, sometimes they release those little video clips on YouTube or on websites. So from 1400 to 1430, on day one, you're going to get information about crypto liquidity. This could be very powerful stuff. All right. So then not only that, from 1445 to 1515, then we're going to get some information about payments use cases. From 1515 to 1540, then we're going to get information about crypto custody. And last but certainly not least, we're going to get information at 1635 to 1705 about the role. This is the big one. The liquidity one is also big. I'm expecting some good information out of that. But this one is even bigger. All right. 1635 to 1705. They're going to be doing the role of commercial banks. Remember, I used to always say, don't forget the commercial banks. The role of commercial banks in the deployment of CBDCs. This could be very powerful. I'm looking forward to whatever information is going to come out of here, but we all need to keep our eyes open and our ears open. It's better to see and read and hear for ourselves. Don't get me wrong. We could tell each other about these things, but it's much better to see it for yourself, hear it for yourself, read it for yourself. It brings a certain level of comfort and certainty when you know things for yourself. All right. So this is going to be very, very big in my humble opinion. And we'll see what comes out of it. And we'll keep you up to date, and we'll stay abreast and privy of the situation. Let's go on here. All right. So then we're going to get to a little, wait, not Algorand just yet. A little bit more XRP news. So then you have this was actually a tweet from Ripple introducing the ball main thread our vision for driving fashion into Web3, the Web3 future, imagined in collaboration with @Mint Official and Ripple. Built on hashtag XRP Ledger. So here you have it. You know, so they're, I guess they're designing certain things on here. I believe that they're going to bring that into actuality, but they're giving you the visuals first on the XRPL. I'm supposing that you could probably buy the NFTs. They have a little, what do you call these things here? QR code. You have a little QR code here. You can scan. I'm supposing that what they'll do more than likely is for a while, they'll show you the visuals on here. You can probably buy the NFTs. The NFTs will be connected to something that's actually a physical item that could be sent to you. We're seeing the expanding of those types of offerings quite rapidly, where you buy an NFT and then the physical item is sent to you as well. So this could be huge, and I'm glad to see that XRP is getting into fashion. We already know that VeChain is into the fashion industry. I believe that Algorand has one or two things that they're involved with where they do traceability. And I don't think it's by the Algorand Foundation. I actually think it's by Coinbanks maybe, or one of those other entities that's building on Algorand, where they utilize Algorand as a traceability protocol for like fashion products and things like that. Sort of like what VeChain is doing in mass, right? Or they're setting up in mass rather. So I'm glad to see that the XRPL is getting involved in something like this. That could be a lot of good value flowing across the blockchain. We want to take as much value from the world as possible, have it flowing across XRP, XLM, Algorand, Hedera, and that way those prices are guaranteed to explode and stay at a high price. We want them to stabilize at a high price, right? We don't really want the volatility. We want it to continue to go up and max it out. And when we max it out, that's what we're talking about when we say generational wealth. Of course, that's depending on how many coins a person has. Some people have a ton of coins, some people only have a few. So then you have to make your own calculations because of that. Obviously, I would think, right? That's just logical. So let's continue on here to a little bit of Algorand news here. All right. How's everybody doing out there? It's Friday. You got paid, made some money. You survived another week. You did a good job, right? You stayed healthy, stayed active. You were getting to the money. Landing some deals, probably, you know, it doesn't even matter if you were just working a regular job. You did a good job. You survived. You made it. We're gonna continue to move forward. We're gonna get stronger mentally. We're gonna get stronger physically. Nothing is going to stop us. Nothing can stop us in life. Nothing can stop us. We're not gonna let it. We're not gonna let it. We are the force, the primary force. We're going to enable our willpower or enact our willpower. And we're going to move everything around us like the sun. We're going to make everything rotate around us like the planets. We're not going to lose. We're going to win, and win some more. That's what we're going to do, right? We're going to make money wherever we can, whether it's in crypto, whether it's in stocks, futures, trading indices, right? So you see, I've been covering a few different things. In the housing market, we're going to make money everywhere. We've been doing it. We're going to continue to do it. We're going to win. All right. Now let's continue on here. So we have a little bit of Algorand news. Algorand DeFi is booming. That's an understatement. It's been exploding and going insane. I told you the Stacey Wharton effect. I know people. I know deal closers. I know winners. I know people that are hungry. And you've seen it all this year. Algorand has been exploding. So then it says, here's why. Let's read these bullet points here. First bullet point, liquidity is flooding into Algorand's DeFi ecosystem. The total value locked on Algorand hit $270 million for the first time today. Second bullet point, HiveMind Capital deployed $25 million worth of capital in Algorand DeFi, giving the ecosystem a liquidity injection. Money, 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 money. Muy lindo, mi gente. Let's continue on, though. Next bullet point. Several other catalysts have helped Algorand boom ahead of other projects, but the rise may be short-lived due to the macro climate. We'll see about that. Algorand receives VC boost. A new cash injection has helped raise DeFi activity on Algorand. Money flowing into the Layer 1 blockchain's ecosystem has soared this week following an announcement that HiveMind Capital had deployed 80 million algo tokens into various DeFi and governance programs across the Algorand ecosystem. At the current price, 31 cents per algo, that is such a steal. HiveMind's commitment totals more than $25 million. Woo! Because they know what's to come. These people are wise. They understand where Algorand is going. That's why you have so many big money people getting behind Algorand. They see what is being built. They see the infrastructures. They see all of the different industries that Algorand is reaching out into, all big money. And that's just where we're starting. That's not where we will end. And we haven't even gone into hyperdrive yet. Just wait and see. I'm telling you now, watch what they do in 2023. You'll see. Proof is in the pudding, as they say. Proof is in the Kool-Aid. Have a taste. So, following HiveMind's announcements, the total value locked in DeFi apps on the layer 1 hit a new all-time high, topping $270 million for the first time in the blockchain's history today. Let's move on to this next article. Algorand's doing a great job. So, the other day, I was talking once again about Algorand's domination and the setup for domination when it comes to music, the music industry, in every possible way. Royalty payments, copyright, everything, right? And I was saying they had LimeWire, they had Napster, and so now they have another offering. I can't remember the name of that other offering. I think it's a decentralized one, like a true decentralized one. Whereas these ones started out as mainstream legacy system offerings, right? More traditional offerings. So this is from Altcoin Buzz. It says the old file sharing service Napster is going full throttle into Web3 music, driven by CEO at Velaso and backed by Algorand. It's on Algorand. We spoke to John and at Matters Asia to find out their plans and investing in Web3 music. So they're trying to expand. They're going to be expanding rapidly. They're trying to take over because they're getting early into Web3. They understand how dominant Web3 is, how much value is going to be able to flow through everything because of Web3. And like I said, so keep in mind when you're talking about something like Napster, so they're probably going to, I'm pretty sure they're going to be moving music-based NFTs. They're probably going to make themselves a hub for something like that. Now, here's the difference between selling your music right now. Let's say you put out a music offering like Apple Music or Spotify, something like that, and they're just paying you cents per stream, right? Okay, and that's for one listen. Well, if you sell your music as an NFT, we're talking about one sale for thousands of dollars, depending on what you set it at, set the price at, and what you think your value is. But it's way more than a few cents per stream. You're making an insane amount of money off that same music offering that probably wouldn't have gone for as much on a traditional service. So this could be huge money in the future. So everyone's trying to get in early. Algorand has been dominating. So everything's looking good on that front, and I'm very happy with their rapid development. I'm keeping an eye on Napster, things like that. They could in the future act as some major catalyst for a little bit of price movement, but we'll see. So this is from Hedera, right? Hedera posted this, and it goes as such. GitTech's Global 2022 DIFC course launches Global Digital Vault to Jory. The new digital vault will enable the upload and secure storing of insurance contracts, title deeds, wills, and financial certificates. This is huge. They're getting in deep in regions that are moving billions to trillions of dollars. This is from Dubai International Financial Center. This is who Hedera is getting in deep with. This is just where they begin. This is not where they end. This is the first capacity to which they're going to be using Hedera. It's only going to grow. And as they become more satisfied, they're going to be more comfortable with moving more value. Once again, this is Dubai International Financial Center. So let's scroll down here and read this little tidbit. It says, attendees witnessed live demonstrations showcasing the new platform's functionality and security protocol features at the show. So other big money individuals were able to become privy to Hedera and see how well it functions. That is one of the best setups you could ever have to make some money, to be in Dubai in front of all those big money people and have your offering showcased. Come on now. That's how you know where to look in the future for catalysts, something like that. So the new digital vault will enable the upload and secure storing of documents ranging from insurance contracts, title deeds, wills, and financial certificates to images and multimedia files, and can be utilized by all individuals globally. All uploaded life admin files will be secured under the highest standards of security regulation, using multiple factors of authentication, encrypted data, personalized biometric information, and safekeeping ledgers through advanced cryptography. Using distributed ledger technology, Hedera can ensure the transmission of your entire portfolio to your designated stakeholders or loved ones at a key time. Supported by an on-site DIFC data center and a secondary UAE-based backup data center. Now, if they trust Hedera with all of that type of information, is it too much to go out on a limb and think that all of those different assets they have that they may want to move, may want to liquidate that value and move to somewhere or back and forth, they may decide to move that type of value across Hedera? So the UAE GDP for 2020 was $359 billion. This reflects the rich natural resources in the UAE, which has 10% of the total world supply of oil reserves. Wasn't I just talking in a video recently about the possibility of one of the bank coins moving that oil value but also being able to do traceability for that oil? Wasn't I speaking on that? Now you see this happening. Once again, another thing that we spoke about coming to pass. 10% of the total world supply of oil reserves and the world's fifth largest natural gas reserves. So now that means that we, Hedera, have access to individuals who are probably amongst the most wealthy in the world. And we may be able to move that value of oil or natural gas or act as traceability. Either way, there could be theoretically, if we're used to that capacity, and I believe that we might be, that there could be a ton of value flowing across Hedera because of something like this. This is a major catalyst and something to keep our eye on and check up on every month or so, every 2 months, every 2 weeks. Who knows? But I definitely will be checking up on something like this. This could be explosive. Now, U.S. business inventories increased slightly below expectations in August. So let's read this little tidbit here. U.S. business inventories increased a bit less than expected in August, but there are signs that unsold goods are piling up at retailers and wholesalers as stubbornly high inflation and rising interest rates slow demand. Business inventories rose 0.8% after climbing 0.5% in July. The Commerce Department said on Friday, inventories are a key component of gross domestic product. Economists polled by Reuters had forecast inventories advancing 0.9%. Inventories increased 18.2% on a year-on-year basis in August. Retail inventories jumped 1.3% in August instead of 1.4% as estimated in an advanced report published last month. That followed a 1% increase in July. Retailers are finding themselves saddled with excess merchandise, a function of both easing supply chain bottlenecks and slowing demand for goods. That could see businesses offering price discounts. I was just about to say that, but I'll let them lay it out. Offering price discounts and discourage some from placing more orders until they have cleared the unwanted stock. So to the detriment of manufacturing and the broader economy in the coming year. You see where that's going? The oversupply of goods and the Federal Reserve's aggressive monetary policy stance have left many economists expecting a recession in 2023. You heard what I just read? Recession? My goodness. So you just heard what I just went over. Then you have the massive layoffs we've been covering as of late. They've been having hundreds of thousands of layoffs over the last 2 months, right? You have that. Then you have the fact that the Fed has gone completely insane. So they're going to continue to, they're going to have to increase interest rates aggressively, which they haven't done yet. What they're waiting on, I don't know, because it's going to be devastating when they do. You have that. You have the UK talking about raising interest rates. You have some Latin American countries talking about raising interest rates. So pretty much they're going to crush the world economy. Think about that for a moment. They're going to crush all the economies at the same time. We're not talking about a recession anymore. This is not a recession. That's a worldwide light version of a depression. I won't say it's a deep depression. It will be a light version of a depression, but it's not a recession. You already had stagflation. I'm not understanding what these people don't get. They're like the greatest liars of all time, or they're highly delusional. Then don't get me wrong. I could be wrong on this, but I think I'm being quite logical. Let's move on. I'm just calling it how I see it. Let's move on to this next article here. Close out with this one right here. Speculators cut long dollar bets in latest week. CFTC, Reuters data. Speculators cut their net long US dollar positions in the latest week, according to calculations by Reuters and US Commodity Futures Trading Commission data released on Friday. The value of the net long dollar was $9.33 billion in the week ended on October 11th, compared with a net long of $9.44 billion the previous week. Reuters calculation for the aggregate US dollar position is derived from net positions in the yen, euro, British pound, and Swiss franc, as well as the Canadian and Australian dollars. So, oh man, what crazy chaotic times we live in, you know, and I think everyone knows that the dollar can't go on strong for much longer. We've already heard the calls for the dollar to crash. What would they say about January, February, somewhere like that? And that's just I think very, very light predictions, but we'll see what happens. But it can't possibly go on for much longer. Meanwhile, while the dollar is super strong, it's crushing all the other currencies. My goodness. And they expect people to still adhere to this system. You know, it's not going to happen because the world is changing so dramatically fast. This is another reason why they have to implement the distributed ledger technologies. They have to implement the CBDCs. It doesn't matter who doesn't like it. They have to do it in order to survive. And no one's going to operate under this old antiquated system anymore. They can't. They can't win. They can't win, and they want to win. They know that they can do that now. But they can't do it with a weaponized dollar. They can't do it with a dollar that's strengthened by just simple printing by the will of just select people. They can just print anytime they want and strengthen their currency anytime they want because the debt doesn't affect them. The debt affects everybody else because, well, the U.S. doesn't have to worry about their debt right now because it's in their own currency. But everyone else, they have their debt in U.S. dollars. So they have to worry about that, right? That's a problem for them. So they can't win with that system. Not only that, then you look at the cross-border payment stuff with the weaponization of SWIFT. Nobody wants to use that anymore. It doesn't matter how much they, SWIFT wants to say, well, we're doing a bit better. It doesn't make a difference. No one wants to use them. And all the countries that are on the come up, that are going to be moving major value, they're not going to want to move that value utilizing SWIFT. That's not going to happen. It will change in the future. There's a doorway open. They're going to take it. So the world is rapidly changing. The world, as everyone knows it, in a few years, that world will have ended. And there will be a new world coming forward. It's just the way that it is. Now, what the people have to do is decide for themselves where they're going to be positioning themselves as that new world is coming about. That's why so many people are into the bank coins. They see where that's going. Now you see a lot of big money getting into the bank coins because they want a piece. They understand that some people are going to rise to dramatically. The new 1%, as you see, like Pay Me an XRP say, I believe it's Pay Me an XRP says one, or Kai says in the comment section all the time, new 1%, that could be possible. I think that's highly possible. So people are trying to make it into there because they understand that society, it looks like at this particular time, society is going to be ripped apart. The middle class is getting destroyed. It's almost like there will be no middle class. There's going to be people at the top and people at the bottom. So there's a mad rush right now for people to try to make it into that 1%, to make it into that top echelon, right? That's what this is all about. But nevertheless, the systems are going to change. People coming by way of generational wealth is just sort of like an unknown variable, or I don't want to say unknown variable. It's more of like just a byproduct of the system coming online, of the flip of the switch. It's a byproduct of that. It's an inevitability. They can stop that. No one can stop that. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of who, right? So a lot of people are starting to see that. A lot of institutions are seeing that. That's why they're all getting in. The banks know that. I think everyone that's wise sees what's going on. You see the mass takeover. Look at what Algorand is doing. Look at what Ripple is doing. They're everywhere, into everything, deep. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the money.